much for your time today, everybody. Vicky and I want to take this opportunity, I think, to give some life to the words that we put out on June 30th. Family dispute resolution, as we know, it is more than any one of our disciplines, right? It's more than any one of our designations. It's about being professional, and it's about being ethical, and it's about being part of a community, and all of that and everything that entails. So, I mean, we know that I have messed something up. 1 second, please. I'm working. Let me just give you a little recap. I am not working from my office today, and we know all Wi-Fi is not created equally. So got to bear with me today. So we know that FDRIO's decision to discontinue certifying family mediators who work with separating and divorcing families came as a surprise to many of the community. As an FDRP me myself, I understand your initial concern. We took this decision really seriously, and we want to ensure everybody that, like all of our FDRIO members, that the board made this decision with your best interests in mind, right? We did this to strengthen the support that's available to you, for starters.
Thank you, Julie. So Julie and I, on behalf of both of our organizations, really do want to reinforce to OAFM members and to FDRIO members and to the mediation community at large that this was a joint decision made carefully and thoughtfully by both boards of directors and the timeless hours of our joint task force. We look forward at OAFM to ongoing collaboration with FDRIO to continue in our shared goal of advancing family dispute resolution in Ontario.
So FDRIO and all of our directors are really excited about the opportunities that are being created and about the future of our relationship. So you will notice today that we will keep using the word collaboration. So by definition, 2 or more people or organizations working together to complete a task or achieve a goal. We will continue, need to clarify this, we will continue to be 2 distinct and separate organizations, but as Vicky mentioned, we have a shared goal of advancing FDR in Ontario. So FDR, actively working with OAFM, I think provides for a more streamlined process for new mediators. It bridges the gap for established mediators, and I think we're finally modeling the true nature of dispute resolution, which I think is brilliant. The flip side of this, though, it creates space for FDRIO to focus on areas that we haven't had the resources to do. So I think, like most volunteer boards, our resources often can't match the enthusiasm for the opportunities that we generate in monthly meetings.
So this went out as part of our joint announcement, but I do want to reinforce that all existing FDRIO FDRP MEAD certified members on opting in to becoming an accredited OAFM mediator will be granted OAFM ACFM equivalency. All existing FDRP meds as of June 30th, 2023 will be given 1 year free renewal with OAFM, effective on their next renewal date from the date of any new member joins OAFM. All FDR MEADs who do not have an ACFM designation are invited to opt in with OAFM with no application fee prior to December 31st of 2024. We're thrilled to say that we have already had a number of FDRIO FDRP certified mediators who have seamlessly transitioned to OAFM ACFMs, and we look forward to welcoming additional members as well.
I am proud to say that I was the first to ensure the first to get my ACFM, to ensure that it was in fact a seamless transition, and it was. And I think we've been really conscientious, the task force and the boards, in working together and acknowledging there could be a financial impact to you, and give everybody time to understand what this transition means for them, what it means for both of the organizations, and to just get a feel for, maybe to see what we've been talking about put into action, right? Working together. So FDRIO on its own, we've come a long way since 2014. and all the hard work of our founders. You know, in 2016, we created standards of practice and designations for mediation, for arbitration, and for parenting coordination. In 2018, we signed an agreement with Family Mediation Canada to jointly promote family mediation and other forms of family dispute resolution. You know, collaboration, cross-promotion, cross-sponsoring, co-sponsoring, sorry, is not new to us, you know, nor is valuing the strengths of other organizations. 2021, we created financial designations for CBVs and other financial professionals. We continue to coordinate FDR programming, like the Hear the Child and the Cross Border, which we did, you know, at the end of last year and the beginning of this year.
So as many of you know, OAFM has been in existence for over 40 years. Last year, we celebrated our 40-year anniversary. And during the past 1.5 years, we've really been dedicating a tremendous amount of time in reviewing and updating our standards of practice, our code of ethics, our bylaws, and our complaints procedures. This took a tremendous number of hours by volunteers and administrative lawyers who we've consulted with. We're thrilled that we finally have concluded this monumental task. All of those resources are available online for review, and all of you would have received them who are members in terms of those administrative packages that we're all governed by in terms of our standards of practice and our code of ethics. So thank you to everyone who was involved in that process. And we certainly look forward to reviewing and monitoring how the implementation of those revisions are being received. So thank you.
Yeah, that was no small task for you guys to entertain. So over the years, the majority of voices that we've heard at FDRIO and elsewhere within the educational community, we heard the shared concerns and the confusion with multiple organizations offering the same or very similar family mediation designations. With both organizations now mature and strong. OAFM was certainly mature before we were, no offense. But we only started in 2014. We're now both mature, we're both strong, we're both stable, right? This was a time to address these concerns, if you wonder why. You know, I think with a touch of courage and a lot of optimism, we move forward with what we think is this positive change for both organizations.
We have certainly been painfully aware of the confusion and the multiple pathways to the designations. We've heard you, and we respect what your thoughts and opinions are in that regard. We're also cognizant of the inadvertent us and them positioning that this has caused. And certainly I know I can speak on behalf of the board that this is not something that we wish to continue. We wish to work collaboratively, and it's time that not only we're talking the talk, but we're walking the walk. And we're really excited about all of you joining us in that journey of walking the walk. It's time for our organizations to stand together and work collaboratively so our members can reap the benefits of joint training initiatives and a simplified accreditation process. Today is one example of our efforts to work together. We are grateful to Michael Ciani for being the first speaker in this joint venture, who I'm sure all of you are excited to be hearing within the next few minutes. We strongly believe that this direction is best for all of our members, our professional community, and the public, while respecting and honoring the unique roles that each organization has.
So thank you to Michael for his upcoming webinar at 1 o'clock, our first joint one. And thank you to both OAFM and the FDRIO boards for being open and honestly enthusiastic to working together. And a very special thank you to Vicky, Visca, and Marianne Pescu for being so welcoming and supportive during our many conversations about this and other topics, but this kind of has taken up our world for the last few months. So I think we acknowledge and appreciate the strength of OAFM and the resources available to mediators. And I know OAFM appreciates FDRIO's strengths and our differences. And I think this collaboration is a testament to doing what's right for our members and for FDRIO's continued evolution.
you, Julie. As the president of OAFM, I wish to extend my sincerest thanks and gratitude to the board of FDRIO and specifically to their chair, Julie Gill, for taking the initiative and the courage to commence discussions regarding how both organizations could collaborate to promote and strengthen family dispute resolution in Ontario. Our joint task force and our respective boards of directors have worked very hard in addressing the first step of collaboration and ending the confusion and certification of mediators in Ontario. We do want to be receptive to hearing your voices, and certainly if there's time at between what Julie and I are going to be presenting, we're almost wrapping up anyway, and Michael's presentation, if there's some questions that you have, you can certainly put those questions in the chat, and the chairs and co-chair or co-hosts and hosts will look at monitoring some of those questions if we have time to address them.
Thank you. So I think, you know, for FDRIO, I wanted to summarize some of the things. We're still committed to promoting and growing FDR, right? Which includes mediation. And the decision to no longer certify mediators doesn't change that, right? We're still looking for mediation programming like the one today, which happens to be joint, and to support mediators with things like our mediation cafe. And we'll do this through collaboration and not competition, right? And we think that's really important going forward. So a few things about, you know, FDRIO's commitment to you, the members, is that we're going to continue to focus on our best practices and standardizations and public recognition for professionals, right? So these things are the foundation of not diluting the work that we do, but elevating it, right? And we're working on updating our vision, mission, and value statements, which is another excellent exercise for us. You know, we've come a long way since 2014. And I think it's fair to say that our world has changed over the last 3 years dramatically. And that changes the work we do and how we do that work. So now is, you know, along with this collaboration, it's a great time for us to look at those things and go back to the foundations of who FDRIO is and what we want to accomplish and what our members want from us, because it may not look the same now in 2023, right? We want to help you grow your role as an FDR professional, right? We want to create that community where newer mediators and seasoned mediators, I will call us seasoned mediators, can interact, and some of that knowledge transfer can happen, right? And we've lost a bit of that over Zoom. We've gained some things and some things that, you know, we've lost a bit in the last few years. We want to expand and develop our relationships with other professionals and other organizations, and not just FDR ones, right? So if you're interested, please reach out. We are always open to having a conversation. And from a strategic perspective, we're gonna start to do outreach, and we're gonna continue to build relationships in our community. And we want to represent FDR throughout Ontario, not just the GTA, throughout Ontario. And I know those are just words that we say, but we actively want to do that. And for that, we need to know how we can help, right? We are smart enough to know that we don't know what we don't know, and that one size doesn't fit all. So the support we may be able to give to GTA FDR professionals may not look the same if you are in Sudbury or Ottawa or Windsor. And we need you to help us with that. And above all else, we want you to be excited about the opportunities, right? We want you to be part of our community, to engage with us, to share your ideas, and to have a voice, right? And help FDRIO grow to where we're going to get to next. So thank you.
And as it relates to OAFM will continue to oversee the accreditation of family, child protection, and intergenerational mediators, and the service delivery and training of mediators in each of these fields. We'll continue to provide accessibility to low and or no cost training to all of our members to ensure excellence in service delivery. We will continue to prioritize issues of equity, diversion, and inclusion in the provision of mediation services and in the overall administration of the organization. We will continue to ensure standards of practice and training and consultations specific to the screening of intimate partner violence, trauma-informed mediation, and child-inclusive mediation that are based on research and best practices. And we will continue to be committed to each and every one of you and the clients that we serve. So thank you.
So I think before, if we've got any questions, I think the one thing we want to make sure is that, you know, you understand as members or potential members of either or both organizations that FDRIO and OAFM are committed to working together to avoid overlap, to support each other's initiatives, and to continue to provide value to our members of the public and the community, right? Like that's our shared goal. And I think it's just so nice now that we are working together on that goal versus kind of doing it side by side and overlap. I think this is just a really exciting time for FDRIO, and I hope for OAFM.
It absolutely is. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments in chat that we should address?
There's no questions. There's a nice chat from one attendee talking about how this is a wonderful step forward for family mediation in Ontario, and the differences between the two organizations should be viewed as strengths. And so thanks to Dan for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, but if it's not today, if you've got any questions, I mean, our doors are always open, you know, between certain hours, Monday to Friday, but our doors are always open to be able to answer some of your questions or have any of these conversations. You can always reach out to Marianne or Sienna at info@FDRIO or Vicky and I.
That's right.
Absolutely. And I think just to, because I've heard the word several times over the last few weeks since the announcement was made, this is not a merger. This is not a takeover. This really is a collaboration, and we just really want to reinforce the strengths of both organizations and to reduce the confusion as it relates to the accreditation. And we welcome this with open arms, and we hope that each of you will as well.
Right. And just one kind of administrative question around OAFM considering education from Humber College for accreditation. The answer to that is very easy. Yes, Humber College is on the approved list of trainers at OAFM for both the family mediation course and the domestic violence course, if my memory is serving me correctly. If you need more information, you can contact OAFM and I'll give you access to that list of all the approved trainers. So answer in the positive for that question. Thank you.
Excellent.
Yes,
if we don't have any questions, you may want to get ready for Michael's.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so thank you so much, Vicky and Julie, for spending this time with us. I think that the main message is that the doors are open. We are here, we're collaborating. This will be the first of many fun events that we host jointly with you. And we look forward to doing this again. So thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your